going live. I'll let you know when it pop up on the
Are y'all showing up on the screen? Mine is all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, everything is good.
Oh, okay.
I'm just waiting for the
Okay.
It says on air. On mine.
It does?
That's what it says. It say on air at the top of the screen. I don't know if y'all see that.
True.
Yeah,
here,
on
up here,
air.
but I like to look on the YouTube so I can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Cause
look
the little-
okay.
Cause the little Ike, okay, there it goes, it's showing live. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna start with the introduction. All right, with the memorandum. So we're gonna start that first, and then we'll come in and do what we do. All right, so.
Listen to reason. The following memorandum is the conversation each and every new Nibu of the Ethiopian race should have with Nupu at least once a day, and the name Nupu should be pronounced in mind, whisper, or out loud in the numbers order given and before the conversation starts. The numbers order given creates two ends as you read the name, and the two ends made by reading and pronouncing the name Nupu 9 times stand for Nupu and New. Nupu, 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 Nupu. Remember the promise and covenant with your messenger, and also writer, Afru Unu, and all those who learn, accept, and practice positive nature knowledge and the laws of nature, as explained and described by Noon, your active science of all the worlds. Your promise and also covenant having been duly made are binding as following: economic well-being and liberation of the Ethiopian race, mentally, spiritually, and also physically, because it is the time and cycle for this action for your posterity, the Ethiopian race, and because we all, meaning Ripu, Gipu, and Sipu and all adherents dedicate and obligate the rest of our lives to sound right reason. Who is Nupu? Positive nature knowledge, the laws of nature, also truth, equality, justice and practicing rightness, which is Noon, to the best of our knowledge and also abilities. The time for the Savior has passed. It is now time for the mental resurrection, liberation, justice, judgment, settlement, and balance for all peoples on planet Earth, as promised by the forces of nature and predicted by the ancients and sages of antiquity. Nupu, please cause it to be.
All right. Are we back on the regular screen?
I think I see the screen, but I don't see. I think what you call it got bumped off.
Okay, hold on.
Nebu, I think Nebu got bumped off.
Nebu.
I guess he'll come back. I didn't get a chance. So the regular screen is up there, right?
With our icons, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
I was just a little rusty. All right, so whenever he come back, we just keep it moving. All right, 2 minute call to Peace and War Times. I'm your host, Tarkino Onunuku, a member of the Ethiopian race in Anunibu, and we are here for a nice little start of the new Ethiopian year. As y'all see the title, Dr. York followers still added in 2026. So I represent the blood of the Ethiopian race, and I'm gonna pass the mic on to Anoop. Go ahead, Anoop.
All right, true peace, all kins and friends of the Ethiopian race. I'm Anoop Bunu Nupu. I'm a proud member of the Ethiopian race as well. And I represent the science known as Noon, brought to us by our noble messenger Afro Unu Nupu. He allowed us to get this great science, and from this particular episode that you're gonna see today, is the reason why we protect the science known as Noon. I'm also a nature reasonee, which is also known as a Noonibu, in the short term of it, which means to reason by nature. All right. So I appreciate Tar for coming forth again, and lighting the fire. Again, I know we've been off for about 3 months. I think about 3 months now. Just trying to get ourselves together. It was a very busy cycle in the last cycle, but I'm revving up now. I was actually working on the next episode so that we could get started again, and I realized I repeated an episode that we already had done. But hopefully this week I'll be starting back, and we'll getting back into the swing of things. All right. So true peace, all kins and friends.
Well, peace, everyone. This is Nukaru Nupu, and a proud member of the Ethiopian race, and I am an assembler of Moon Science, representing the information that was brought to us by Afro Unu, here to help assemble and listen in and build with the Noonie Boos on today's lessons. And as Noop said, continuing the science and having some other classes and other meetings and talks, and for us to get together and build on new science and the resurrection of our mentalities. True peace.
True peace, Kins and friends. I'm Nibu Unupu, and I am so in on the front as a helper with this nature knowledge, pushing for liberate and open up their minds to what's really going on in the world. And I'm a representative of Noon scientists by science by way of, and I'm just so pleased and so honored to be a part of the positive moving forward. True peace.
All right, so that's everybody. All right, so where do we want to start? All right. So
It's not.
the reason
It's not.
if you huh? What you say?
Now I was just going to say nothing is showing on my screen. I don't.
No, I don't think you put anything on yet.
Oh, they go Karu. I ain't putting nothing on yet, Nibu.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so this show was brought to you by the person that you see in the thumbnail. All right, so this is a follower of Dwight David York, aka not a Dr. Malachi Z. York. Follow.
I don't think the screenshot's up.
No, I ain't showing them yet.
Oh, okay, my bad.
And so I'm just giving people some context. And Anoop put something in the group that showed some pictures that was very disturbing. And of course we was upset about it because of what it represented and what was on it. I'm trying to find those pictures again. Those particular ones, because I don't know how old it was when they had it. But let me see here. I don't want to lose my place. Hold on, let me go to. Oh yeah, I can always come back to this. All right, so we go to. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Let me know when y'all can see the screen change.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, so
It must be something wrong with my notebook because that's why I was saying nothing is showing on my screen.
It's probably your connection is probably slow.
Yeah, bring up Chrome. Bring up the Chrome again.
All right, let me step out.
yeah, go ahead. We're gonna keep it moving.
Okay.
All right, so this is one of the pictures. Tell me, can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, y'all can see it.
You
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah.
Mhm. If you want to zoom in for the people, you can, but it looks good.
I don't know why is it getting smaller as I got bigger. All right, so here's a picture of a screenshot from his story. We're gonna get to all this stuff in a minute, but I'm just giving y'all the context. And also shout out to Neb from Noon Science Group who gave me some more extra information on February 5th. So here you can see the word noon and its name right here, but we'll get to that in a second. So as you can see, you can see the word Noone, right? And they adorn their Pope hat mixed with Hindu garbs. All right. So that's the first thing. Hold on. Can y'all see the second picture?
Mhm.
All right. So here we have the him putting noon on a shirt with an ump. All right. So those who are aware of noon science and things like that know that the Ankh is a bottom half six ether life emblem and symbol, and you just have to get the Bible interpretation of the books and come to the group. You'll see that some people say the Ankh represent the vagina, the ovum, and all this other stuff, but we'll let people debate with that. It's regardless of what they think it is. Any symbol of life in the bottom half would be the life of death.
Right.
It's not non-ether life symbol. The guy in the middle, you can definitely see the Shiva Krishna blackness type vibe in these pictures. Okay, a lot of times these conscious, these so-called conscious individuals like to create and mix things together. And now, because of AI, it's easy to do these things. And so, what we have to do, like Anu said, we have to protect the science, and we would do so by any intelligent means necessary. All right, so now I'm gonna get out of this, and let's get to the next thing. What we want to do. All right. Okay, let me get this out of here. I just want to make sure I get everything lined up so we don't get nothing out of the way. All right, get things out of the way. So, do I want to do this one? This one? Okay. All right. Just give me a second. I want to make sure I do it the right way. And I don't want to get lost. Okay, what is this? Do I need this open? Nah. So let me. I thought I had more than one. This is open. Okay, let me go back. It took me out of my group. Hold on. Let me put this in real quick, y'all. We're about to get real. Don't worry about it. All right, so now I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know when y'all can see that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is him back in 2016 when we was at what's the name? What festival was this, Anoop?
That's the festival downtown Brooklyn. I forgot what's the name of it. It's not coming to my mind right now. No, the African Arts Festival.
Okay, so everybody was down there. We see who we call rest in peace.
Yeah.
Who had enough intelligence to break away from the cult before he passed away. He seen the weaknesses and the truth and the facts of what we was teaching, and he got up out of there. And a lot of the Wabians was mad. He even went on Sarnetta couch and told a story about how his uncle told him how Dr. York took one of his homeboy wives and stuff. And I think that who he called interview might still be on Sarnetta page. All right, so it was me, Anoop, Marsha Nupu, Kwipu Nupu. I think one of the babies was with us, and you see the Nuwapian that we talking about, which is Barry Blast. All right, so this is part 2, but I know it's a part 1. So what we're gonna do, that's me in the blue shirt. So we're gonna start from here. Then y'all can hear, but this is him asking a new question.
I got it. Move up.
A Latin suffix to an African word. Bring that to you. That when he does stuff like that, that's just like your piece of Christianity.
Baby, how am I doing?
That mind to grab.
Oh, look at it now.
I thought they expect you in Nuwapi. They know even if we don't say it, the word is still Nuwapi. I'm trying to say something. But then it's like the word.
Maybe when I get my money right, I'm gonna get them. They had a couple small ones out here.
Give them a little context, because I know it's hard to hear. Y'all was debating about the IAN at the end of Nuwapian.
Yeah, because if you look at any of the nature books, ain't no such thing as Nuwapian.
Mm-hmm.
So I was basically telling him there's no such thing as Nuwapian, because the IAN, which is the suffix in the word, is a Latin suffix. It's not an African. It's not. They don't see what they like to do, and this is what this video is about. Is mix Noon with other what you call it, with other cultures that are six ether cultures, but there's no IAN in any of our words, right? If that's the case, we would be called because most of us are called Nooniboos, we would be called Nubu Ian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's why. But you see, the thing is, when their minds are so 6 ethered out, or 3 ether out rather, they like to mix and match and mix and match, and that's what Tar is doing in this video, is showing y'all what they doing. Just like those first pictures that you just seen, they're taken from ancient Egyptian culture and they're remixing it into Noon, right? But the thing is, you have to revolve it. You can't just copy and paste. That's the issue that I'm having with them. It's this copy and paste culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, well, you got an ancient Egyptian Ankh. Let's just slap Noon on it and call that Noon. No, you have to revolve it. You have to show that the effort and the time and the reasonability behind that. Copy and paste is not reasonability. That's not reasonability. Copy and paste. Now you got some things where, you know, you don't have to reason on it, or you don't have to do much to it in order to see the reasonability behind it. But in a case like this, yeah, slapping IAN on Nwapu and then putting Nwapian, that ain't. But they got that from York, so you know they just regurgitating what York did, and York did that. What did York do with most of his books? Copy and paste. All he did was take whole excerpts and put it in his book and call it his. Same thing like Nwapu. Just slap IAN on it, and hey, you know, y'all are all Nwapians. I named you Nwapians. You got it from me. So basically, they just a copy and paste culture. That's really what that is.
All right. So what I want to point out, as you can see, they have something that they mutated again, which is they call this is the double Ankh or the Ankh Twi. There's no such thing as this in ancient Kemet. And these clowns walk around to this day with a symbol from where you can go across the water and you'll never find this symbol nowhere. So this is what they do. They mutate and then deceive themselves that they created something. No, you didn't. Y'all using a cross bar at the bottom of something and say it represents a double resurrection. Even the Bible doesn't teach that. They talking about this 2 resurrections, the mental and the physical. It's just dumbness that they've been putting out for years. And because of the spell of the negative force of nature that's amongst all these groups of organizations, that they're able to walk around inside of New York, one of the top places of consciousness, and no one I have ever seen them get questioned about this abomination that they wearing on their hats and clothes, because that's what it is. I done seen them be around on Sonnet and them 100 times and have Ankh and all these different people around them, and nobody asked them, you need to prove where y'all got this from. And they never do. No one ever questions them. We've been saying it forever and ever, and nobody says nothing. All right, so this is the spell. So I just want to just establish in this situation, a Nuke beat him real bad. Let me see if we can catch this one right here. Let me try this one. I'm just gonna play this one real quick. Hold on. Let me share it again. Let me see.
We've been doing this for a long time. Sheesh.
Yeah. All right, hit that share. All right, let me see here. Because a Nuke, remember this. Hold on.
His whole mission was to take y'all from religion and control y'all in order so y'all can call him the God of this time. The nature doctrine that y'all gonna get in a full blast. Listen to what I'm telling you. What y'all are in right now is religion. This is religion that you're in right now. When you have when you're worshiping York as a god, y'all don't worship y'all. Y'all don't call y'all the
Yeah, they got they got plenty of pictures, but one of the old joints they had was they say they God come every 25,000 years. That's what York was telling them.
Right.
Look in their temples and all of that. They got pictures of York and statues and stuff like that. Who wanted to say something?
No, I was saying right. I was basically saying, you know, telling them that they worship York as their god, and many Nawapians say and do that.
Right,
You know what
and
I'm
that
saying?
makes it a religion.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. You're 100% correct.
Right, because religion is a child of pantheism. And so we know that pantheism or pantheons are gods and goddesses. And religion, all it did was condense many gods into one, which making it a mono, meaning one, and theism, God. And so by York putting itself as the center and using that term God, but then he would trick and say, yeah, we all are gods. So whoever heard of many gods worshiping a God?
Mm-hmm.
But because that was yours, establishing a contradictory philosophy. You can't create a religion and then call your subservients gods, and then hold yourself up as a god too, and then use, oh well, God is the smartest being at the time, and he tried to throw Elijah Muhammad, so Elijah Muhammad was the god of his time. That's not true, because Elijah Muhammad was not the smartest man on the planet. He wasn't smarter than Malcolm.
And you can't prove that you're the smartest person, because you got to go. It's 8 billion people on the planet.
There you go.
There's no way to prove that.
Right. So these are things that when you under the spell of religion, no matter what the group is, the leaders can say all types of foolishness, and the spirit beings that's controlling the individuals that's dispatched by the vehicle inside human beings is what causes them to not be able to buck the information, because the spirit in them is dumbing them down. And those symbols and stuff that people wear contributes to the dumbness. So they Twiz is not a double resurrection, it's a double mental death. Because you're already mentally dead before you learn any knowledge. And so once you get into a deceptive philosophy, that's a secondary death. And so these are the things that we're trying to do. So Anoop just broke a lot of stuff down. They talked about a lot of stuff. They was talking about Adam and all this stuff. So remember, we started engaging Nawapians strong starting in 2014. I had already started getting at them in 2010, but it grew as I started learning something was not right. I got a hold of the nature books and the BIE, the Nine Ball and stuff in 2008. I read them together from 67 to 96 of the books at that time. And so once I had done everything I needed to do, that's when I came back on Facebook, because I took a break, because I was studying the wing makers, the destiny stuff. Because of York's misinformation is what allowed people to be open up to him and all this other weird stuff that other people had out there. And so because of that, of different groups, this is how people just go from one cult and move into another weird group, into another, because they all have the same type of spell that's emanating throughout of them. Just one group may call them the Anunnaki, another group will say the Elohim, another group gonna say the Lahat, another one's gonna say, it's the Nitiru or the Orisha, whatever. But they all are the same negative forces that have different names because of the different time zones that they had extended their control in, because spirit beings are programmers and controllers of human beings and stuff. So they already changed. When the cycle changed, they stopped putting in forces and power between the old name. That's why you can go and worship the Anunnaki and all this stuff. You're not going to have the same results that they had back then, because the names, the forces didn't change. That's why you see the Bible words are more famous, because the Bible is the universal book of the dead, and it's the most typical book of what's taking place right now. So that's why you still keep hearing Baal and Moloch and all these names from the Old Testament that pops up in all of these conspiracy theory circles, because those forces are using those names. You're not going to find a lot of people talking about Osiris and all those names that we came up with back in the day. They're not putting no energy in those. They put them in the mankind, which is the Caucasian at this point. All right. So after he got exposed to us, and if you go to our group, we beat them hella bad. All right. So after these beatings, because we kept running into them, and I'm going to show you that again before we move forward. All right. I'm going to show you this real quick, one more time, because we got a lot of footage of us engaging them throughout the years. And like I said, we put the work in. All right, so let's look at this. Let me see if this one got some good volume in it. Hold on.
I never heard of him. Kane. That's an update. What? Joe spoke about that. All right, so what did he say? So what are y'all saying? He said wrong.
So Dan, you look like a brother I know, man. It's Dr. York Love too, man.
Yeah, he wrote him a letter. He was in correspondence.
He look like mother.
Hey, we used to have correspondence with him.
See, a lot of them was surprised that we would come and talk to them after we had these battles online, because it's all about intelligence versus ignorance and knowledge versus ignorance and stuff like that. It was never personal, except when they started lying on Afro Uno and taking the books and all that. So I used to write York through the years, and I would post the letters online. Why? Because it was just to let them know, to be transparent and to show them that York was doing other things that was not correct, and he was being deceptive. But they found that being special, because a lot of people that go hard for York, a lot of them was afraid to write York themselves. I done got in battles with a lot of people who you swore by heaven and earth that York was blood to them, or they was in the trenches with him. And then when you ask them, they'll say, okay, well, have you ever wrote York? No. Like, why not? They would not write York because they in so awe of York, they believe that to question York in any kind of capacity would render them wrong in some form or fashion. The same way cult leaders make their followers, when they start realizing through the bad treatment, like the victims of different cults, they install this shame will kick in of you if you catch the leader slipping, or you start questioning yourself and doubting. So this is the stuff that came from it. I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna show you the switch up.
We used to be this rap group that used to be part of us, right? Conscious rap group. It was called Bloodline, boy. I swear to God, you look just like the
yeah, I never heard of him.
Name was Kane, man.
But wait, let me get this back. Now you said in the update, is it online?
Yes,
on
WooNawap.com.
But he said he wrote.
They asked him about the book. What's this information here? And he said, that is my information, but I did not write that book.
Now this is Damuzi, who I question him about the nature of nature books. And he's saying that York told them that's his information, but he didn't write the books. So this is the stuff that we're trying to show y'all, the contradictions of a cult and how they lie. And the members, they just switched it. They keep upgrading. When me and Anoop went into the bookstore in 2014 and confronted Earl, and all of them was in that bookstore, they all was acting like they never heard of no Afro Uno and the nature books. The whole thing was like a surprise. But they had been making videos under the Divine Feminine and all these other YouTube where they was taking stuff from the book. And I didn't know it at the time, but when I went back, I seen Earl Dackins reading a book that York allegedly helped put out called Electric Ether. and that was quotes directly from the nature books, and we exposed all of that. So they was already ripping verses from the nature books and putting them in, and then putting their own little spin on it. So here, Dumuzi is saying that York claimed he didn't write the books, but years later, like Nupu.org, if you go to my wife's page, Marsha Nupu, she got all that stuff over there that shows you where they say York wrote the nature books, and that York is Afro Uno, which contradicts the Nawapians or Sabians in the Brooklyn bookstore who have a picture of Afro Uno in their temple. Well, we got the pictures and video for that. So one group believe York wrote the books or taught the information, but he didn't write the books. Another group believe he wrote the books and he's Afro Uno. And we produced the obituary, the whole thing. All right. So like I said, this is just a bunch of stuff we already went through before, but we just want to give y'all context that we have been in 10 toes down, talking to them online and in person. All right. And they are following the same mind state and spiritual programming that York was doing.
A decade later.
Right. So this is, again, they the ones who, following York, created these conditions. This group and other groups would never have been created like the many groups that Chuck Morgan put up, and USA versus York and all this other stuff. All these people created these conditions, and then they get upset, and then they want you to believe that it's somewhere along the lines that we're attacking them because they kicking the truth. No, we're attacking you because y'all present lies and using other people's truths and facts as if it was yours. All right, so I'm gonna continue this.
He said, I am not Afro. Now.
So he said that York said, I'm not Afro.
What's this information here? And he said, that is my information, but I did not write that book. He said, I am not Afro.
This serves a problem because in 2010 they put out a book, The Man of Many Faces.
That's right. That's a revised version.
Listen, but book 2, I got a list of dark names. The Afro Uno name is up there. After we done provided Afro Uno's obituary, proving that he did not.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me ask y'all this.
All right, so this is me confirming. We showed them the obituary. I showed it to Earl in his face in my phone in 2014 before it leaked in the group. We weren't gonna put his obituary information out there. That was personal. Even though it was in a public setting, we all agreed that let them find it because it was online. And Jay Reese actually found it, and he put it up. And then they started a group named after, I think, was like Who is Afro Uno or whatever. And they had a bunch of them over there arguing and debating because now the truth and the facts and evidence have now came into being. So this is, again, because in all cults, whenever the leader goes away or dies, they break up in many groups, and they are no different. So this is, I'm giving y'all the chronological order of things, and they've been messed up ever since.
So what difference would it make if Afro Uno said the same thing that he said? What difference would it make?
They say the same thing. There's a lot of difference between them.
Okay, so what is Afro Uno doing for the salvation of the people now?
The point is,
the books are out here.
The book
here.
I'm saying, what is he doing? Is the liberator. It's a difference between
So here they doing what religious people and cult members do. They start trying to put the leaders and teachers up against one another. The nature books clearly states, if you read, for those who believe, right? Believe, and I'm using that in the sense of those who think that York wrote the Bible interpretations and the 9-ball books. Nowhere in those books it tells you to create a religion or to go out front and act like you the leader. Even with the nature books, it doesn't say that. All right? Afro Uno was a messenger. What the messenger's job was, he tells you in his book, his job was to search, find, research, and circulate the correct information. That's all he was supposed to do. And in the 9-ball, it clearly states stay away from all organizations. Why? One, because you're on the move base. Number one, surrounded by mankind and our most extreme energy, the Caucasian race. And then you got all these other groups out here. That's your regular opposition. Now you throw in the CIA and the FBI and all these other groups that was using us against each other, like Japan was using the Nation of Islam to try to start a race war, using the Nation of Islam against racist Caucasian. That's what happened when you don't understand what type of mentality and 60 thing goes out. People didn't know nothing about that. Afro had to be told and taught what the invisible forces was. And that's why he was not told to go out in the forefront. Because if you look at what happened to Marcus Garvey and everybody else, look at them. Whether they was on our team of our people or not, Garvey got deported. What his name is? Noble Drew Ali got killed. Malcolm, Martin, just keep going down the line. So, Sound Right Reason told Afro, y'all lay in the cut. You, Gipu, and Sipu lay in the cut. Write the books and put them out. They did their job. What did York do when you compile that? When you look at what the Bible interpretation say in the 9 ball, it tells you explicitly not to do what York did. York was a prime example, a supreme prime example of why you don't do the stuff that he did. All right? One of the biggest things that I always keep reminding people every chance I get about the big thing that the Bible interpretation clearly tells you, that Leviathan is the reason why things are where they are, using the Bible as a spell. And it said Leviathan in the beginning of the Bible interpretation, the first paragraph, it talk about Leviathan. And one of the things that Leviathan is a sex force. When York started teaching and being a Muslim and got to a certain point in Islam, York had so many women. He had his own wives, and he was taking other people's wives and other men and everything else. So York was a personification of Leviathan. Because as a Muslim, it tells you that the number of women that a Muslim man can have, maximum is 4. York had 50 plus. So he was already possessed by Leviathan. If people read the books, they'll look at York's example and say, okay, if York wrote these books, how the hell is he going against everything the books say? So it's a lie. Okay? It's a lie. Treat the books like they treating the Epstein files. All you got to do is read. People are reading it now and looking at the what? What's out here? What got left? You don't care. It don't matter about what they redacted. It's enough information enough for you to come to what? A conclusion. You can't prove that Trump was there, but you can prove that Trump was there. You can't prove that Jigga was there, but you can prove that Jigga was there. How? Because there's enough breadcrumbs for you to put it together.
And the difference between a liberal and a savior. Wait a minute, listen. This is what I'm saying. Let me ask this first. Let me ask this first, just to be on point. If you saying that's his information, but he didn't write the book. That's 2015, right? But in 2010, a book was produced with him that he allowed the book to be wrote because they worked with Doc on the book so it could be written. You talking about the man, right?
So this is what happened. We in 2015, they had got an update before we ran into them at this event that York said that's the information, he didn't write the book. So I told them, well, when the Man of Many Faces book came out in 2010, York was given credit as Afro Uno, and that was his information. So he allowed a book that they sent and let him look at before they put it out. He looked at it and said it didn't say nothing against it. I got a video and a written email to the guy who wrote the book. And I explained to him the mistake that they made and he said York seen the book. This is the author's own response, and I can pull it up. He said York seen Afro Unu's reference in there and appeared to be irritated by it, but he didn't say nothing. But the man said he let York see the book. Now I'm being 100% clear because I'm not trying to hide anything. It's the same thing. I put the whole letter out there in the group. So this is a clear case of York lying to his followers. These guys here are the main ones in the bookstore. So he's telling them one thing because that's his base. Like Trump got MAGA. This is York's MAGA group right here in the bookstore. They're gonna go with whatever he says, even though we have provided information that we didn't put out or contribute to tell them, yo, this is not true. All right, let me continue.
Right. In the back of the book has Afro Unu name. It said just one O on it, but it's still the same name. So if he said that he didn't write the book, why is you wearing another man's name years before when you know that he's gonna tell y'all later that he didn't write the book? It's his information, but he didn't write the book, but you wearing the man's name. That's like saying Tupac album is mine, but I didn't put the album out. But when you look at the credits, I got my name there. So the question is, do y'all recognize that that's a contradiction? You can't say that's your information. You didn't write the book, but you wearing the man's name.
But I'm saying I got the answer for that.
I'm asking them, do they recognize that it's a contradiction? Why are you wearing a man's name? And they misspelled his name in the Man of Many Faces book. Then only to come back years later and then put Afro Unu's name in there, misspelled the same way. York did not correct it from 2010 when the first book came out all the way to the time they got the man picture. And the picture they got is the picture from the obituary. Because if you look his name up, Eugene or Johnny Eugene Brown, and look at the picture they got for the obituary, it's the same picture they got. So that means y'all had to go to the same place and get the picture. So one group saying that's York, another group saying it's not. So this is the bull crap. So now let's get down to the meat and potato. All right, before we get to the beatings of beatings. All right, because we're gonna wallop them tonight. We're gonna wallop them. So y'all get mad at Barry for the dumbness. Because this is what happened when you possessed and you just doing things and it's not making no damn sense to nobody inside the group. All right, hold on. All right, so shout out to my wife Marsha. She sent me these videos and it was right on time. This what made me really want to get up and do the show tonight because I needed more stuff to put together. So this right here, these 3 videos is very important. Now, this is, what year is this? All right, so this is 2017. Now remember, me and Anoop just beat them, Barry and them in 2015 and 2016. Remember, we was in the park and Anoop was debating them on multiple topics. All right, so this is about a year later. Now listen to this. Listen to what he said.
Okay, which is our spiritual science called Wunuwa. Okay, and Wunuwa is our culture also. But the highest science right now that Ponda Bat is giving us.
I'm gonna start it over.
Okay, which is our spiritual science called Wunuwa. Okay, and Wunuwa is our culture also. But the highest science right now that Ponda Bat is giving us is called Noon.
You heard that? Now he said the highest science given to them is called Noon.
But once I heard but, I was waiting. Waiting. Once he said but.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Look, it's October the 2nd, 2017. But before this, it was Wunuwa. But after Anoop beating on video, he had to go back and say, yeah, the highest science is called Noon. Nigga, stop.
Noon. Noon. That'll be noon science, okay?
He said noon science.
Noon. That'll be noon science, okay?
after we just looked at the video of the other Nawabian saying that that's York said there's information, but he didn't write the book. The whole time York was out, he never uttered the term noon science, ever. Never, ever uttered that. Now, here we go a year after Nuke beat him. Now he back talking about noon science.
And noon science will basically be our quantum physics.
This is
science today.
Man, I almost cussed. Noon science is not what they call quantum physics. All right, that's not what it is. See, this is what they do. They following a ninth grade dropout, a PDF file, and whoever else that's ghostwriting these lies. When you read the nature books, one word you will find in there is called metaphysics. You will find that word in there. You will not find the word quantum or physics in there together. Quantum is not in the nature books at all. This is a word that the Caucasian scientists came up with. All right? But this is go ahead. What you say?
No, I was just gonna say, yep. Though there is some form of quantum physics in there, it is not quantum physics as a whole. And on top of that, the Caucasian he can't even wrap his own mind around quantum physics. They still in mystery right now with quantum physics. But Noon has it all figured out. That I have to let y'all know. Noon has quantum physics figured out. That's why Noon is not quantum physics, because if you go to the Caucasian right now, they're still searching within quantum physics to find the what they will call the secrets and the mysteries of the universe. But it's already been done in Noon.
Right. What they looking for is the brain nukes. The brain nukes can't be seen.
No.
You only can see the results of what they do. And
that's right.
Quantum physics gives you an idea, and that's what they're doing. They're looking for the causers. But brain nukes can't be you can't perceive them. You only can see the results of them. All right, so let's finish this up.
Quantum physics, but we call it Noon. Okay, and Noon deals with basically what our existence in darkness.
So he's switching it up from noon to nun, N-U-N, right? Where they talk about the primordial, that's what he's doing. So he's switching again. This is what these cults do. So if you're not familiar with the language and the lingo and a science versus a doctrine, because that's what they got. They got a doctrine, which is a religion, which is the weakest of all sciences, and they are, I keep telling you, they're gumbos, they're Frankenstein cult. And that's the worst kind of cult to have, because the pro-black cult is the worst, because they suck up everything and put it together. And when you meet them, if you only know one thing, they're gonna mesmerize you and spellbind you, because that's what 6 ether does. It puts you in a state of mesmerization.
Okay, dark energy, dark matter. What happened? Creation. That's what we call Nun. Okay.
They saying they call it that. But again, matter that they talking about is within the confines of the Caucasian and what they misinterpretation of what the ancient Kemetes was talking about in certain creation stories. But when you really look at what York got 20 different versions of creation, and he tell them they all correct. Only in mystery and mythology can and religion can all y'all stories be interpreted as correct when it's not true.
Because we understand that creation happened 24 billion years ago.
See? Now he's going into what York put that number in the El's Holy Torah. So he said creation started 24 billion years ago, but in the Holy Tablets, they say creation started 76 trillion years ago when Anu created everything, started from a dot. So again, he's not being accurate. Number one, these numbers are way off the chart. But to keep it in context, he's talking about creation as what York was saying in El's Holy Torah or the Old Testament, York's version. But if you're not understanding the gaps in between, he's just sound like he's just throwing a bunch of stuff out there.
From 18 billion years, okay? Starting with the Big Bang.
See, now the Big Bang goes into the tablets. So now it jumped from something with Earth to now he's jumping back in the top. But he's only reciting what York was putting in these different books, because York make them think that everything in those books was real. And this is how they string together their religious spell. And they give you all these different times and dates, and it don't make no sense. Just like one video of Newt and him was debating about Adam and the Adamites, and how the Adamites were the people of the ground. The Anunnaki came and breeded Adam from the Hindus and Eve from the Tigers, that he called them the Pygmies, and you had a group of Adamites like that. Then you had Adamites, meaning people of the ground, meaning the so-called monkeys that the Anunnaki mixed with. But now, when you talk to them and say, well, what's up with the Adamites? Now the Adamites are Caucasian people. But in the beginning, they were black people, African pygmies, and monkeys. But now they done scrapped the whole thing, and now Adamites are purely albino, ghost-like people. Confusion.
Okay, so now when we start dealing with the Big Bang and how the universe was created, okay, that's dealing with Nun. So this is the level of information.
See how he changed it from Nun to Noon. So he's pivoting back to Noone versus Nun, which he was talking about before, based upon York's misinformation.
That Ponabab was trying to get us to. Okay, he went through all those religious schools just to give us Nun.
And that's no such thing in the books. The books tell you that religion is a spell and we should avoid it, not practice it. Studying it and understanding it, that's one thing. York went into all those spells and made our people the dumbest of the dumbest. Even though we smart, we sound smart. He's not teaching, he's just talking. Just like a regular person to be like, yo, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, give me scientific talk. Explain that scientifically. You don't hear none of that. You don't hear the things that scientific community use today, and you don't hear him using what our ancestors considered scientific conversations back then. They have none of that. All right, so that's the first video. All right, we're gonna jump to the other two. They was real good. Like I said, I had to shout out to Barry because he loved doing this foolishness. They always do this. We always catch them, and they do this, and then when we come out, they just act like they so abhorred. We attacking them. No, y'all are the problem starters. All right, let me know when y'all can see that.
Yep, I see it.
All right. Let's listen to this here.
We now have our true nature. What is our true nature? Our true nature is nine ether. Nine ether gives us the ability to create Nuwaubian history and Nuwaubian culture with our creativity. So we as Nuwaubians, we have the power to create anything that we need as a collective. Anything that we need, we have the power to create. Fury told us that we couldn't rebuild Tamarin. So we as Nuwaubians, we have to utilize concentration. He explained it in the neuroscience. We have to use the brain concentration.
Right there. Brain concentration is all over the nature books. And it tells us from the 9 ball on up that creativity is one of the ways to get out of slavery and stuff like that. Now look at this. This is June, earlier than the other one, 2017. These Negroes is not saying that. If you go back, listen, he gonna say our creativity. He gonna say in the new science.
You utilize concentration.
Let me go back.
As the Wapians, we have the power to create anything that we need as a collective. Anything that we need, we have the power to create. Fury told us that we could have rebuilt Tamaray. So we as the Wapians, we have to utilize concentration. He explained it in the neuroscience. We have to use the
Explained it in the noon science. So we are justified in coming back out and speaking up, because if we was doing that to them, they'll be having a whole fit. But we never bother them until they swerve into our lane doing dummies. Again, this is just catching y'all up on the tomfoolery. I got one more, then we're gonna bring it up to date. All right, because that's very important. All right. Now this is what we're talking about with the niggatry. Now this is pure niggatry right here.
Mm.
Y'all can see that?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this niggatry. And this dude is a shapeshifter, because every time I see this guy, he be dark skinned at one time. His face look like he never looks the same in his pictures. I don't know what. That's been the weirdest thing I noticed about this guy over the years. When we was in front of him, I was like, damn, you don't look nothing like you do online. Like he
probably use filters. That's probably what it is.
Because this dude, like, his face be skinny and then here is real thick. So this is what he really wants. He wants to be somebody great. You know, and I'm gonna show you he wants to replace York in a certain kind of way. All right, so now let's get up to date so we can show you the niggatry beyond measure. Because that's what it is. Let me know when y'all can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, so you can see up here it said return to the source. All right, it got this Arabic type language they've been using, Sabian script and all that. It ain't nothing but Arabic, because in Arabic go to the Phoenicians. And then you got look like a moon crescent with a raindrop, but this is nothing but the crescent and things and the so-called spear that York was using from the Mahdi over in Sudan. And they also used the same symbol in Star Wars on some of the fighters' helmets. So this is him. All right, now look at this picture. Can you see his picture?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's two things I want to point out about this picture. But I'm going to point the first one out. Where he get influence from. Because all this stuff is important. All of this is important. Tell me when y'all can see the screen.
I can see it.
All right. So when I seen that picture, I already knew where he got that from. So you go to the Ashtar command, a so-called group of Caucasian extraterrestrials from another solar system. These are their ascended masters. And look at the one right here under the dude on the left. This is what they do. They a mixture of a whole bunch of foolishness. They're already wearing Bindu dots on their forehead, wearing Arabic clothes and sometimes Hindu clothes, and they done mutated the Ankh from ancient Kemet. Nothing these jokers doing should be taken serious.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but this is proof of spiritual mental illness.
Definitely.
That's what you're looking at. All right. And same thing with York. When you look at a lot of pictures of Yorks in this book, they all got that white light drew around his drawings. Because York was also a thief of other people's drawings. Nothing they doing is original.
Well, copy and paste culture.
That's it. That's all Yorkman was doing. He was the king of that. All right, where's this dude at? Okay, let me take that down. All right, so now we're gonna go through his page so y'all can see it. So now we can go back to his Facebook. Like I said, these some sick puppies. They've been sick a long time. All right, can you see his page again?
Yeah, I see his page.
All right, so this is some of the pictures in here. So here, look at the first book he got. And you can tell that's the smack circle right here. Can y'all see that? Or do it need to be blew up? Y'all can see that?
It looked good. Yeah, it looks pretty.
All right, so you can see the smack circle on the book.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Again, we already know, anybody who got the nature books, y'all know that this is a prominent image in the nature books, representing space, matter, and time. But again, they love the lie. Now look at this. He just put this up January 23rd, 2026. So y'all seen the switch up from 2015. They switched up to 2017. All right. So here they done took your picture and put his picture up here. So he's trying to look and replace York slowly because his name is up here, Harnun. But we all know that this is actually York, and he just trying to slowly take it. See, that's what they all end up doing. They always end up trying to take somebody's place when the leader is no longer there. All right, let's go a little further. All right, so he calling himself the founder. Look at this right here.
He's not the founder.
Come on, nigga. This is why people like this have to be exposed, and they should have public whippings and things for this type of stuff. This a whole clown. How you the founder of a science and you was not the messenger? And we just showed you they don't
It's
know.
Ray Harati. Hold on.
Yeah. He's sick. He put this up December 6th, 2025. Harnoon is the visionary behind the Noon Foundation. Once again, trying to turn the science into an organization, and the Nine-Ball explicitly says do not do that. The same thing with Nupu.org. Org is short for organization. They keep trying to make Noon be attached to a PDF file. That's what they're doing. The negative forces is still trying to connect something that was not meant to be associated with. All right? So, again, but people are so ignorant, they don't know what's going on. Now, look at the guy here in the comments, Tar Anubu Neferu, got a face up there with his hand under the chin, like, I don't know about this right here, bro. Then you got another crazy one in here saying Noon equals Nupe equals revolutionary power. Nupe is another word for Nupu in the nature books. That's why you hear us say the Nupe symbol and the Zoop symbol. See, Nupe equals revolutionary, which we know that Noon brings in the revolutionary cycle, and Zupu is the evolutionary cycle. This is in Noon. But look, it got one of your pictures, and they all in here trying to take the information and give it to York. Remember, one of York's followers said he didn't write those books. But that's the information. But then in 2010, it's a whole, so all this is just showing y'all the spiritual confusion.
Yeah, I see it.
All right? And this is why we have to clarify over and over, because they don't understand that Leviathan not only Leviathan as a sex force, it's a force of pure deception. So we have to be careful about that. All right. Let me get back to the picture. What is the picture? Oh, snap. Okay. Hold on. I gotta go back. What is that? Okay, here we go. All right, so let's go down a little bit more. So you see him wearing the little hood and all of that. All right, just pay attention to the little hood thing. All right, so we're gonna get down here again. Look at this mess.
No stillness. No stillness. No clearing your mind. And okay. That's wild.
And he looked real sweet too.
I'm sorry.
Look at his lips.
That's that old. They're using that glow, that glossy glow filter, so it's looking like the old York books. I see it. I mean, everyone could see that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same force. That's why.
All right, so you see, again, he's trying to steal the image with York picture, and they got spaceships in the background. Them old pictures that York had. Yeah, I told they trying to take over on the low.
Somebody asked him, so you the master teacher?
The big brain here. The big brains are here. Brain newts, not spirit.
Somebody asked that?
Look on the side. Zaya Ethereal, if you look on the side under the post.
Oh, okay. You talking about, they asking him that. I'm like, I thought he was asking us that. Hell no.
So you the master teacher?
Somebody said yes.
Wow. Now look what he got this morning. Let me show you. Let me show you where he getting all this stuff from. There's an old book York put out in the 90s. Y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is him slowly but surely trying to replace York. All right. Can y'all see the other pictures that I changed?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got York got the spaceship. They just changed this up a little bit. This is an old picture where York, when he was out, he had like the Crystal City was up there and all that. But this is, again, he's doing the same stuff. That's why the person asked them, because they looking for a savior. Noon is about liberation, and being the liberator is Nupu. Can't no man free you from this type of mess. But because they are religionists, they don't equal stand that. So they're gonna keep doing the same thing, keep looking for somebody that's gonna keep producing. The they're gonna keep sending them false flags. All right. So we just going through here doing a little deep dive. Was that everything else? All right, so I think that's pretty much it, bringing it up to date. So now we need, like here, we're gonna show you how they, like he didn't stop here with the corruption, but we just showing y'all this is what the cults love to do. All right, so now let's go to his website. All right, so let's see what this says, because all this stuff, it reads like a Hindu or Indian god or guru. All right, so now you got Noon Society. This is what they do. Y'all better stay away from these agents, whether they're agents of Leviathan or agents of the government. All they've been doing is they keep pushing these people out to keep the folks confused. So let's read what it says. Peace surrounds you at all times. You are immersed in an ocean of tranquility. That's a lie. Nigga, where you live at? Ain't no damn peace surrounding nobody except the elite. And they create chaos. But this is the deception that liars create, because they know that people really want peace. They really don't want to be in these troubled times but they don't realize that we are in the rock bottom of the smack circle, and it is we in hell. This is why you seeing all of the stuff you seeing. Just as blood flows through every part of your body, peace moves through every cell. Man, see, this is what we talking about. Peace, if it's in your cell, you're not surrounded by peace. It's inside there. And even that's a lie, because if you get a disease or something, your cells and body, if you sick, you not in a state of peace. Because the word disease mean what? Dis-ease. Negatory. Noon invites readers to look beyond the surface of daily life, to delve deeper into the underlying truth of existence, and to recognize the profound interconnectedness of all things. It's a philosophy that encourages us to embrace the present moment. See, this is against what Nawapu is. Nawapu and Noon, which is the one and the same, is a science. And it's a philosophy, but this right here is not about the interconnectedness. Because nature, of course, is all connected, but they're not relevant, because some things are opposites to another. Only thing that makes you interconnected, and everything that's interconnected, is brain news. Because Afunu say brain news are the same in all matter. They just opposites. Why? Because the Noomba Noom Zoom is the ones that generated the Nupu and Zupu. So they have one source. They became opposites because of what they had to do. So anyway, Noon is not just a philosophy, it's a path to a deeper, more awakened life. Read on to discover the timeless wisdom that will guide you toward inner peace, spiritual growth, and deeper connection with the universe. This is what all the fakers say. They all keep promising peace because you ain't never gonna get it in the way the world and the state it is in. Until every race is in their own land, protected from each other's foolishness. You ain't gonna never have peace. And they all keep coming looking the same way. The sacred masculine. First it was the sacred feminine, now it's the sacred masculine. A daily contemplation which contains the essence of Harnoon's pointings and invitation and guidance to the rest in the formless space of noon consciousness. Read now. So, of course, they're going to take you about all this stuff here. So that's pretty much my presentation. I wanted y'all to just, you know, get an update on some extra stuff and, you know, y'all take it from there. What y'all got to say?
There's a lot of fakers out there. There's a lot of fakers. And I would just say you have to use your brain, common sense, and be careful on where you land to on these websites and social media. Things that sound so simple and sound easy, you have to really think about that. And it's a lot. I mean, I've been over here on mute just dying laughing because it's so silly. It's so ridiculous to see people is having this mental breakdown and not stick to the information. Even if you didn't understand the books, it's right there. It tells you what to do. And that's the thing. They don't know what to do with this information. And
corrupted. That's all you know how to do.
It's straight corrupt. And I'm glad you here, Ken, to bring us to the forefront so everyone can see it, because it's going to be definitely get some views on this one.
What's up, Neba? What you got to say? Got you on here. We can't hear you, Nebo. You probably having a thing. Just come back in, Nebo. Go ahead, Anu.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know he was doing all that on his website. That right there just pissed me off even more that you showed that. I thought it was, he just slapped a couple of things, here and there. I didn't really take too heed to go to his website or nothing like that. I didn't really care, but yeah, you dug a little deeper, and that one pissed me off. That he made a whole website and drawing people's minds to this foolishness, almost to the point like I just showed you on the side where somebody was like, "So you the master teacher now?" Imagine somebody hit him up on a DM like, "Yeah, the master gave me the science and I understand it better than most of them," and this, that, and they could just start the trickery and the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So this is foolishness, man, to the maximum, man. But I just implore anyone out there that's seeing these videos and things of that nature to really go read the books for yourself, and then you will see that that some of these people are just fakers, man. They love to fulfill their ego's mission, right? To get all this pleasure and honor, and I probably guarantee you, behind it all it has to do with sex, to get all these women behind them, to get all this controlling of men, and all this, that, and the third. And it's a natural desire for a man to want sex and things of that nature, but you got to work for it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to do it in a righteous manner, and you have to balance it, and you have to work for it in a righteous manner. It's it's out of control at this.
With intent that there's something that may come along with it. You know,
That's right. That's right.
So, and that's why we do it.
That's right. So there's nothing wrong with sex per se, you know what I'm saying, but it has to be done in balance, and it has to be done in a righteous manner. But yeah, this show was absolutely amazing. You know, Todd put on a great performance. You know what I'm saying? It was the halftime show, which was what you call
full show, the full series.
No, I'm saying it's a halftime show because we was running strong.
The halftime
for a couple months, and then we took a little break. So this right here was the halftime show. You shut it down, and ironically, the Super Bowl is going on right now too. But no, you did your thing, Ken, as usual. Always thorough with the research and making sure that we see the whole shebang. You brought back some memories with the 2016 videos, the 2015 videos. Oh man, I didn't even know you put up that pic. Yeah, he looked. that man looking androgynous right there. You know what I'm saying?
That Prince,
Yeah, so but York fed them all that ego that they all want to be the top dog. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to do the work to be the top dog. You know what I'm saying? At least York put in the work to be the top dog. At least he studied a little bit, and he had the charisma and he had the spirit to do it. York had the spirit to do it, to be the top dog. But he just chose to go the unrighteous path and things of that nature. But once again, man, this was an amazing show. I truly enjoyed it. It was one of the most powerful shows because it shows how a lot of people try to corrupt Noon. And if you ever listen to all of our introductions, we make sure that we give the credit to the messenger, which is Afro Unu. None of this information and none of these creations that you see would be possible had it not been for Afro Unu and Nupu. And if you ever read the information as well, Afro Unu gives all his credit to Nupu, and for them to giving him the knowledge and inspiring him to do what he does. So there's a lineage of information and knowledge that's taking place, but we don't worship Afro Unu. We just love and accept the fact that he was able to produce the information in the capacity that he did with the books and things of that nature. And we just happen to be the second in lineage as far as receiving the information and being able to put forth something that we could do for our true culture society that will be coming into play at some point in time. So yeah, man, this was an amazing and a powerful show, man. I can't say enough words about the presentation, but yes, just a few updates. Like I was saying before in the beginning, I'm definitely gonna be coming back teaching the classes again. It's not gonna be every day. It's probably gonna be 2 to 3 days out the week. Just not to put an overload and a burden on myself, because yes, I do have to do other things during the week. I gotta keep up my gym membership. I gotta make sure that that I'm getting enough rest. I gotta make sure that all of these things are taking place. So hopefully we got some creations that's coming, and yeah, I hope you guys guys and women stay tuned as to what's coming forth. So yeah, we have some amazing things coming up, so please stay tuned.
All right, so before I let go ahead, your true piece, Reed. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say true piece.
Okay, so before I let Nebu talk, look at the section over there in the comment section with this. We know Osiris is the god of death. So this just showing you more that they don't study the Bible interpretation, because if they did, And the nature book clearly tells you these gods dumped us into slavery, that they are not a friend of ours. Now look what he says, and this is March 3rd, 2024. A lot of words I and the Father wanted to become. And this is, and Anuk told them back in 2016 that y'all are in a religion. I and the Father are one is in the New Testament. So why are you using religious terminology if y'all not religious?
I'm gonna have to put that one into the chat real quick.
This is pure mental death. Yeah. York was working for Tahuti and Osiris. This is why they are there. Read the Bible interpretation again slowly and stop personalizing because we telling y'all the facts, the evidence. All right? The Noon Science Files, opposite of the Epstein Files, the Sound Right Reason Files. They put the evidence and stuff there all way back. Before York even thought about trying to hijack the Bible interpretations and all that stuff and corrupt the word Nawapu into Nawapian and then Nawabu and then Wu Nawap and Wu Sabat. All that, none of that stuff is there. This is what we're talking about. But go ahead, Nebo, go ahead and get your piece in so we can get out of here.
Yeah, true piece. Once again, another thing exposing them deceivers of the information. I see a lot of, like you said, a lot of guru impersonations and so forth. It's like it's nothing different than what the Hebrew dude that came up with, wearing all white, doing the same thing. So basically, they can't go no further with the side. They stand right there in the middle of following those Phoenicians. And it's just pathetic, but they just keep on doing the same old thing. Like I said, they're replacing the leader and confusing the people more and more. But I'm glad people is able to see what's actually happening and move forward from that and actually get the true information that has been put out by us, the Unibrews. So it will help them liberate and open up their minds to true culture, known science, given to us by Afro Uno, true peace.
All right. So I think that was a wonderful update. And like you said, we just want to point out that not only is this dude a deceiver, he's deceiving his own. And he does the same thing that everybody else does by slowly injecting themselves into the mythos and the false doctrine that York created. That's why I'm showing y'all these pictures. Look at this picture here. You got the so-called rich again, a Martian, a Denaki, and reptile or insect type being next to a pharaoh. You never seen none of this stuff in Kemet. If these people,
this is straight, this is Leviathan all the way. This is distortion. This is a straight violation of nature. This is
just foolishness. Look at galactic timekeeping. None of this stuff is in Noon Science. None of it. There's no such thing. They asked us in 2015 what this Afro Uno done for the liberation of the people. The books. Because the books clearly clarifies what reality is. This is not reality. Y'all have not shown us no physical versions of these beings y'all keep saying exist.
I don't understand. I mean, they got little brains then because it's a framework. I mean, he gives you the books and it's a guide. That's it. That's it. And from there, you do it. You do the work and don't take it. There's no aliens and all that. That's a straight violation of nature. I'm just saying.
All right, so that's it for everybody. Thank everybody for coming out. And we'll be back soon. True Mental Cosmic Peace and Wartime.